Hi Aslam class, welcome to your maths video, your last one for this half term on the 12th of February 2021. We're going to start off as always with our arithmetic. So I'm going to share the screen with you and you should be able to see, oh no, you should be able to see my screen for the arithmetic today. Now luckily for you guys, it's very cold outside, so I'm not actually going to be using my outdoor classroom today. I'm going to be using the comfort of my own warm dining room. So anyway, here we go. Here are your arithmetic questions. You can pause the video and you can spend a couple of minutes working out these questions. Okay, welcome back to the, excuse me, my a video has just popped up unintentionally on my screen. Right, let's get back to this, shall we? Okay, here are today's arithmetic questions. Pause the video now and then I'll go through the answers in a minute, or once you've finished, which hopefully is now because you should have unpaused the video. So let's go through these questions very, very quickly. So for question number one, we have 3 times 6, which is 18. For our next question down here, we are adding these two numbers together. So 4,000 plus 3,000 is 7,000. 500 plus 300 is 800. 60 plus 30 is 90. And 3 plus 3 is 6. What is today's date as a Roman numeral? So I'm going to write this one down here. So today's date is the 12th. So that's an X and 2 1s of February, which is that, and 2021. So 1,000 is M, so we need 2 of them, and then 21 is 2x 1 1. Okay, what is the next number in the sequence? So we should have noticed we're taking away 11 each time, so our next value is going to be 12, and then 5 times 7 is 35. Over here, 44 divided by 4 is 11. What is 50 millimeters in centimeters? So there are 10 millimeters to every centimeter. So if we divide 50 by 10, we get 5. What is 500 meters in kilometers? Now, this one's a bit of a tricky one. You can write 0 km and 500 meters, or if you know how to use decimals, you can do 0.5 kilometers. What is 11:35 p.m. on a 24-hour clock? That's 23 hours and 35 minutes. And 36 divided by 6 is 6. So they're your arithmetic questions. Well done if you got them all correct. Let's move on to what we're doing today. So today we're looking at subtracting fractions. Ooh, sounds a bit scary, does it? No, of course it's not. You've all been doing a great job in adding fractions. So take away fractions shouldn't be a problem at all. Let's have a look. We're going to recap and you're going to spend 2 minutes before we look at subtracting about just going over addition again. How many different ways can you find to solve this calculation? Okay, so we've got we need to try and make 11 over 9. And how many different ways can we do it? So off you go. Give yourself a couple of minutes to see how many you can get done. Pause the video and get going. Welcome back. Welcome back. Let's go through this, okay? I'm not going to go through every single answer, but let's go through what we've got. So our denominator is 9, okay? So we know that in our calculations, we can have 2 denominators that are 9. We're now adding 2 values to give us 11. What 2 values can we have to give us 11? We could have 9 over 9 plus 2 over 9, which is 11 over 9. Okay, so there's one that we could have had. Let's change color so that we can see a different one. What two numbers together make 11? We could have 6 over 9 plus 5 over 9, which is also equal to 11 over 9. All right. Let's think of another one you may have picked up on. Let's choose red this time. You could have had 8 over 9 plus 3 over 9 equals 11 over 9. I'm going to do one more just to show you, just to expand on what you can do. You could have had 1 over 3. Now 1 over 3, to get the denominators have to be the same when you're adding. So if we were to times this whole fraction by 3, we would get 9. We would get 3 over 9. So you could actually do 8 over 9 plus 1/3. Okay, and that would also give you 11 over 9. But the only way you'd be able to do this addition correctly is if you multiply this whole fraction by 3. So then you would get 3 at the top and 9 at the bottom. So you'd have to find an equivalent fraction where the denominator is the same. You don't have to worry too much about that. That's something you would do in year 5, but just throwing it out there just to make you aware. So we can also subtract fractions as well as adding them. And I want to ask you the question, do you think that there are any similarities between subtracting and adding fractions? We know the difference. We know that adding is completely different to subtracting. You're taking away, you're not adding on. So what similarities do you think there may be? Okay, I'm going to tell you now. The similarities is you do not subtract the denominators. So well done if you got that correct. When you add fractions, you do not add the denominators together. All right? They stay the same. They've got to be, you have denominators that are the same. They stay there. You do not add them. You only add the numerator. When you take away fractions, it's exactly the same, but instead of adding the numerator, you're taking it away. The denominator stays as it is. You do not change the denominator unless you need to before, but you don't have to worry about doing that at the moment. So here we have a problem, okay? We've got Ava is eating a chocolate bar. Now we need to fill in the missing information. So here's her chocolate bar, okay? Her chocolate bar has been split into 5 parts. Now, she's already eaten one part or given that part to someone else. So now she's starting with 4 pieces of chocolate. So we write that as 4 over 5. Okay, so that's what she's got. She's then eaten 2 of the chocolate segments. So we can cross, and you can see that these have been crossed out. Pen's going all funny. So you can see that these have been crossed out. So we can cross them out again just to make it a bit clearer. So we have taken away 2 of them. Okay, so first we started with 4 over 5, then we take away 2 over 5 away, and now we are left with how many pieces of chocolate? 2 over 5. This is a bar model, okay? We start off with our first fraction, we then take away what we need to, and then we're left with that. So 4 over 5 to begin with, we've taken away 2 over 5, and it's now left us with 2 over 5. So this is a good way to remember how to take away fractions. We can use bar models to help us without using the now, then, and next steps. first then now, sorry. So here we've got a bar model, and we can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parts. So our denominator is 7. We can see that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that have been shaded. So this is where the 5 comes in. How many are we taking away? So how many have got a cross through them? We've got 1 and we've got 2. So in here we are taking away 2/7. How many do we have left? 1, 2, 3. So 5/7 take away 2/7 is 3/7. Notice how you're only taking away the numerator. But this one here, we've got 4 purple, okay, here, and we've got one pink square here. But here we don't have any more. Okay, now this is where we put a bar model on top of another bar model. So we've got 4, and we're taking away this one. Okay, so we're taking away this one here. All right, and how many are we then left with? So 4/8, so the purple, take away 1 of the pink. How many spaces are left? It's 3. Okay, so 4 take away 1 is 3. For this one, I'm going to show you may get a blank bar model, and this is how you would work it out here. Here we know that our answer is going to be 4/9. So we need to shade in at least 4 of these squares, don't we? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, how many are we going to start off with? We could start off with, if we wanted to, with this amount. 7. So we started off with 7. I'm then going to change color because I don't want to use green for this. Let's use red. Okay, so we got to make 4/9. So I've colored in 7, and I'm crossing out 1, 2, 3. That's left me with 4. So 7/9 take away 3/9 is equal to 4. All right, so that's how you use the bar models. Okay, give it a go. Use a bar model to work out the following sums, please. Pause the video, and then we're going to go through the answers. Okay, welcome back. We're going to quickly go through these. So I'm going to move some things around. So that's question 1. That can be question 2. And I put question 3 just down here for a minute. I know I've just done this very, very quickly, but here we go. We're going to split our shape, first of all, into 8 parts, okay? So we can go, well, 8 parts is easier. If we cut it in half first, then cut that bit in half, and then cut that bit in half. Okay, so this is question number 1. We've got 8 eighths, so we're going to color in. We're going to color in 8 of our squares. We are then taking away 3. So cross out 3. 1, 2, 3. How many are we left with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our answer is 5/8. Okay, let's go on to the next question. So again, we're going to cut our line in half again. So now we've got our 8s. How many do we start off with? We've got 7. So let's color in 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's get a different color pen. Let's go for red. And we're taking away 3. So we cross out 3. 1, 2, 3. How many do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4. So now our fraction reads 4 over 8. Now our last one here, we've got 16 over 8. So I'm going to do a little cheat here. And I'm going to divide my bar model that I've made here into 2 bar models that are one on top of each other. All right, and I'm going to split this now into 8ths. Looks a lot neater when I use the line tool. Sorry if this is taking a bit too long, but it is important to see how I work these out. And hopefully you can go along and see how you've done them. So it's 16 over 8. Okay, let's use blue this time. So we color in our 16 over 8. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's one whole. And then 1, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That is 2 whole. Just one moment. Sorry about that, guys. Someone was knocking on my door. Okay, so let's get back to it. We've got 2 wholes here, 16 over 8. We're now going to take away 9. So we take off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How many do we have left? We have 7. So 16 over 8, take away 9 over 8 is equal to 7 over 8. And that's how you use bar models to work them out. So here are your independent tasks for today. For the first challenge, you need to use the bar models to calculate the missing fraction. So pretty self-explanatory. So pause the video here if you want to do challenge 1. If you want something a little bit more challenging, can you please answer these questions? They're subtractions. If you can simplify the fraction, you can. Simplify means, can you find an equivalent fraction that is lower, that has a lower amount? But don't worry if you can't do that. And then the last one is writing the missing numerators. So a little bit more trickier, this one. All right. So choose which one you're going to do. Pause the video at that one, and then I'll go through the answers now. So if you chose to do this task, get your marking pen ready. So use the bar models to help you. Here we've got 2/3, and we've got 1 that's taken away. How many do we have left? How many do we have left? We have 1 over 3 left. For this one here, we started off with 2/5 because it's split into 5. 2 colored in, 1's gone away. We now know that we've got 1/5 left. For this one, we've got 3 over 5, take away 1 over 5. So let's take that 1 off. And what are we left with? Well done, 2 over 5. For the last question, let's fill out the bar model so we can see what we need to do. We start off with 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take away 1. How many do we have left? 1, 2, 3. 3 over 5. So well done if you got them questions correct. If you did challenge 2, here are your answers. 7 over 10 take away, that is 6 over 10. B is 5 over 10. C is 4 over 10. D is 4 over 12. E is 4 over 12 again. And F is also 4. Oh, I put 9. is also 4 over 12. This one here is 4 over 59. And this one here is 4 over 127. So you can, when it says simplify, I'm not going to do them all, but when you simplify a fraction, you find a number that it's like finding equivalent fractions. And they are equivalent fractions, but simplify means you try to find a fraction that uses smaller numbers. So for this one here, we know that 2 goes into 6 and it goes into 10. So if we did 6 divided by 2, we get 3. And if we do 10 divided by 2, we get 5. So we now know that 6 tenths has been simplified into 3 over 5. We've just found an equivalent fraction that uses smaller numbers. So for here, we know that 5 goes into 5 once, and we know that 5 goes into 10 2 times. So that would be a half. Here, we know that 2 goes into 4 2 times, and we know that it goes into 10 5 times. Here, we know 4 can go into 4 once, and we know 4 goes into 12 3 times. And again, that will be the same for all of these. But these numbers we cannot divide because the numerator is even and the denominator is odd. We know that you can't divide an odd number by an even number squarely. It would always leave you with a remainder. So that's why they can't be simplified. And then on to the last slide. What have we done to get to 7 here? We've taken away 1. What have we done to get to 4 here? We've taken away 1. And what have we done here? Okay, this is interesting. 3 ninths plus 4 ninths is equal to 7 ninths. So how do we get 7 ninths over here? We do 8 minus 1. Here we've got 2 ninths. Okay, so what do we do? So how do we get 2 ninths over here? So we need to do 6 ninths, take away 4 ninths, gives us 2 ninths. Here we've got 7 take away 5, which is equal to 2 over 10. So this needs to be 1 over 10 because 1 plus 1 is 2. Here we've got 2 quarters. So here we need to make 2 quarters as well. So we need to start off with 3 quarters, take away 1 quarter is 2 quarters. For the last 2 questions here, over here we've got 1 plus 2, which is 3/5. So we need to do 5/5, take away 2/5 to give us 3/5 as well. And now this one is a little bit trickier. Right. 4/5 plus 1/5 is equal to 1 whole. And I'm just going to write that there to remind myself. So this is 1 whole. We've done 3 take away 2 to give us 1 over 7. Now to make a whole, we need to make this 7 over 7. So how many do we need to add on? We need to add on 6 sevens. Okay, so 1 7 plus 6 7 is equal to 7 sevens, which is the same as 1 whole. So there you go, guys. Have a good half term. Make sure you rest up and have a good time and do a lot of well-being activities. Get away from the screens. You've been looking at the screens for such a long time. Enjoy the rest of your day and have a great half term. See you after half term, guys. Bye-bye.